Hey guys, how are you? It's great to be here live again with you guys. And I'm sporting a really cool shirt here. It's my Ethereum shirt. I've been an Ethereum holder since last year, and there's some really good things happening with Ethereum right now. And, they came out with an EIP 1559, and it's really cool. So I'm not sure if you guys are in crypto or not. But if so, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for fun. And, anything I say is just, to give you an idea. ETH is the stock symbol for this. And some would say it's a security and some wouldn't say it's a security, kind of what XRP is going through and with the SEC. So we'll see what happens. But both Bitcoin and Ethereum are on their way up. We hit a W on Ethereum over the last 2 weeks. And out of that W, it's a double bottom. So it really tests the bottom. And if you're reading it, you can really track what is going to happen. Just like with Dogecoin or Cardano, any of these other VeChain, Chainlink, Polkadot, all of these are great. So if you're playing in the crypto world, fantastic. Last year I had 20% of my portfolio in crypto. And this year I have now the first 7 months I had equities and about 40% crypto, and now I've shifted to 100% crypto. And the reason I did that is because we're on a bull run. So right now, Ethereum, my last dollar cost average over the last 2 months has been $1,750 on equilibrium. Not equilibrium, sorry. That's another thing. The first time I bought it was $1,250. Now, a year ago, it was like $350, $400. So I've got an estimate, and all my estimates have been hitting. Last weekend, it was $2,300. This week, it's $3,000 to $3,300 by Sunday. And in all my calculations on the graphs and what's possible, we should be hitting somewhere in the area of $9,000 to $10,000 by the end of the year. And there's a possibility it would be 17,300 on equilibrium. So if you are a hodler and you're holding Ethereum, keep holding and enjoy the ride because it's going to be good. And every time it comes down, it's just testing the bottom. And the more it comes down, like more often, it's just giving us that more support to have higher highs. So that's why I'm sporting my Ethereum shirt today and really loving it. And it's great. So I posted a little fork for everybody, and that's the London fork. It was released this morning at 1:21 in the afternoon in the UK time, and it's great. And, we can talk about burning and, go from a state of work. So we'll go through all that next week. We're putting together a nice topic for our LinkedIn Live, and we'll go over Ethereum only next week. I believe it's next week. So if not next week, I think we'll have some good news. So the high on it right now is 4,400. And that was earlier, and I sold at a high, and then I started dollar cost averaging coming back. So reading graphs are great, and you can do well personally. But today, I wanted to really embrace the differences on perspectives. So at work, a lot of people have different perspectives, and it shows up for them differently. And I really wanted to talk about the differences in these perspectives that we have in the work environment, right? We have these differences with the colleagues that we work with, our partners, our spouses, our kids, our friends, right? How people are perceiving things differently leads to breakdowns in communication, right? That's in sales, business in general. I recently had a breakdown in different perspectives from a partner, someone that helps us with what we have going on. And the world occurs for people differently. So their perspective was different than my perspective. And, you have to work through that. And sometimes these things get emotional for you, the receiver, or it could be, emotional for the person that is delivering that information. How do we stay out of that emotional state? How do we stop from going inward? Because far too often we go inward and we look at ourselves as an object. We look at other people as objects too. And how do we get that outward, way of being so that we can be out here with people instead of looking at people as objects and be more on the humanitarian side of things? We miss that, right? So we're going to talk a lot about that, and we're going to, there's a lot more to discuss in the world today. And more people value the spirit of inclusion and diversity. But for some, there's a long way to go, particular in the workplace. I'll give you an example where I kind of had a breakdown. I don't watch much TV. So I'll read a book. I'm reading 2 books a month. It really keeps me in the now of what's going on of life. Like, what do I need now? I don't really want to be like bombarded by all this other things going on in the world. It's really sad to see some of the things going on in the world. So this is a bright and perfect example of what we're talking about here. I walk into the doctor's office and they're like, yeah, you need to wear a mask. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll wear a mask. I haven't worn one for a while. And then, if you're vaccinated, if you're not vaccinated, there's now diversity between this. Oh, you're vaccinated. You're not vaccinated. Oh, well, shame on you. You should get vaccinated because this is the way it should be. I'm vaccinated. You should too. Otherwise, now you're the problem. We're having diversity on that and trying to police each other. And I'm seeing this going on. And, back to, politics and religion, I'll tell you certain things that I am, like a Christian, business owner, entrepreneur, absolutely, father. But when we get into these things, the point of view is, are you vaccinated or not? It's really a sticky subject for some people, and it's now turning into a different perspective. And when these things happen, you really have to identify and really connect with people. Remember, we're all human beings. We're all in this together. So how you approach open discussions in the workplace can significantly affect collaboration, the morale, and the productivity. Are you actively seeking to learn from others with different questions, experiences, and backgrounds? I am. If not, what valuable ideas and perspectives could you be missing out on? Hearing different perspectives that change you and challenge our own great benefits. Just like being masked up or not masked up. What is that perspective? The moment that you say you are vaccinated or you're not vaccinated, you now have just taken a place where you're at. So stop sharing if you are or if you're not, and listen to the different perspective that others have. Open up the listening world. The more that we listen, the more that we understand. The more that we listen, we gather facts. Let me tell you why. Hearing a different opinion of others has multiple benefits. It has everyone feel that they are being heard and understood. But it also helps us to broaden how we think about things and how we approach problems. Sometimes it's not easy to hear different opinions. We're looking for that similarity, especially if they are directly challenging your own. When we have that point of view and we stand there firm. Is it right? I don't know. It depends how what you stand for. And today, we like to express what we stand for. Really. But also what that does is it blocks you off from the listening and hearing other people's perspective. But it's important to fight any defensiveness that often comes up when a challenge presents itself. The benefit will always outweigh an initial discomfort. We have those discomforts. It happens. It really does. We have only lived in our own world. So we have our own experience to draw from, and that's it. Unless we're open to hearing and encouraging other perspectives. We shut a lot of people out. We stop listening. We may never know other experiences or skill sets. And that could be the very thing that we need to solve a problem. Let's look at an example. Let's say you're in a meeting about a new project. I did this today. I'll use that one for example. So, such as a new learning program, a training course. Yeah, we saw something that was missing, and this could really help our organization. The people in that meeting may not necessarily consume the program themselves. They are not the target audience. You really have to identify who's your target audience. They may create an excellent course for people at their skill or experience level, but it could completely miss the mark for the people that are actually taking the course. See, you're looking at it from where you're at, and they're receiving the information from where they're at. This could be two different sides and two different viewpoints completely. And I have to tell you, if you don't know this yet, not everybody thinks like you. The way that you're consuming this information as I'm talking to you live, you may be looking at your purview, the content that you have, and how it lands on you is completely different than what I'm portraying. It really happens. How often does that happen with our wives, our husbands, our children, your boss, your manager, your customer, the carrier that you're talking to? You know, you give a carrier a pickup number and it's supposed to be 12345. He goes there and he picks up 7867. Well, 7867 is for another truck. We've got 30 trucks picking up at that location. Shouldn't someone communicate that that wasn't the pickup number and that he should fix the integrity of such problem? Absolutely. It may not be useful for people with lesser experience or completely different skill sets. For example, you need to get everyone up to speed right away as fast as possible. And maybe you should start the course that you're setting up with a step A instead of a step C. Have you gotten people prepared? It's called priming the pump. The outcome you want for your course to bring may not happen the way you want it or the way that you developed it. You have to really think this out. Think of it like an architect. What's going to come first, the roof, the couch? No, you have to start with a foundation. You have to have some bonding and rapport in the beginning so we can get up to speed, and don't go too fast. In this case, try speaking from an outside perspective. It could help you create a course that really fits the need of those that are actually consuming the course. Are you in a similar position? Consider whether you may be too close to the topic to give your audience what they need. I try to do this every single week, sometimes twice a week, to give you guys content that you guys could really use and benefit from. And these are experiences that I'm coming from my point of view. And if I'm dealing with these, you may be dealing with them also. And that's where I like to hear comments from you guys and just, put something in there like, what's this perspective? Or I dealt with this and, well, thank you. This is a good takeaway for me. So have you ever been at an event where someone makes a comment or asks a question intended as a joke? I mean, I have. I've been on the receiving side and the sending side. And the audience or moderator, casually laughs it off. You've been there before, haven't you? I know I've. What would happen if, instead of disagreeing with it, we nurtured it, the conversation, and open a dialogue? Yeah, open a dialogue. Maybe you could say something like, tell me more about it. What do you see? How do you see it now? Why do you think like that? Encourage them to speak their mind. Let them be heard. Share their thoughts openly without any judgment. Stand in the nothing. Or as Eckhart Tolle calls it, the no thing. When something like this happens, you will likely notice that the energy in the room totally changes. The moderator has to decide to create a safe space where people feel more open to talking. it really shifts everything. We do this at Becker every single day. And I have to tell you, in the past, I wasn't like that. I really wasn't. But when I found out that people really, really matter and people have different perspectives, I could see that. That different perspective really changes the color of everything. When I listened, I heard more from what they were receiving and how they received that information. When people know others won't ridicule them for stupid questions, and there are some stupid questions I ask them, I also hear them, they will be much more open to sharing. You can't make them feel stupid if they're asking a question that you thought they already knew. That's getting to know people. That's the bonding, the rapport aspect of things. When people are comfortable sharing their own thoughts and their own experiences, everyone wins. What if people aren't open to different perspectives? Now, what if people aren't open to this at all? At some point, you will likely run into people who are less open to other opinions. They may approach things more cynical or will be stubborn to change. Most people don't want to change. They like how they are right now. And some people, if you take away the fact that they're complaining, they're not going to know what to do. They're going to look for something else to complain about. It's called that victim mentality. And I hate seeing people like suffer and be imprisoned by their own victim mentality. A lot of things happen. Accidents happen. People lose their jobs. People lose money. People get divorced. Family members die. People get COVID, even when they're vaccinated. Things happen. Wake up. Look at this. There's more than just my perspective or your perspective. Let's share them. We have both then. So while this can be a challenge, it's an opportunity to lead by example. You can demonstrate what it looks like to embrace different perspectives. And you can show what happens when someone opens up in dialogue. Training yourself. It's so hard because when I stand in one space, I can't stand in that space. I have to change my perspective. I have to change my space. But the moment that I say, no, I'm standing here, it kills off the possibility of being over here. We need to hear other people's perspectives. It has a benefit as well. It can make dealing with difficult conversations much more productive. Plus, I'll give you a little inside tip. Communication, the more you communicate, the more intimate you become with someone. Try this with your kids. Try this with your partner. Have couch time. Sit down and say, let's try something different. We never sit in the front room. Let's go in the front room. Now, for the people in the South, you're not used to front rooms. In Chicago, we are. I remember, what are you talking about, a front room? You mean that room, the room that no one goes in? Yeah, we call those front rooms. Whether it's a difficult guest, and I haven't really had them, but you could have them. I've heard interviews where there was a difficult guest. It could be a difficult customer. It could be a difficult employee. I say difficult because that's the world you know. They're seeing different perspectives. And hence you label it as difficult. It's not difficult. It's just a different perspective. It's from their point of view. And different perspectives can really help you step outside your preconceptions. Yeah. You can step outside and recognize when something is wrong, when you might normally get defensive. There doesn't have to be a right or wrong. Developing this skill can really make you a much better leader. It has for me. It's really changed my world. It really has, in my personal life and in my business life. Try challenging yourself. Here's your challenge. Pick any upcoming project that you have and bring a diverse group of individuals together. Yeah, the one person that is a pain in your butt, bring them in. Right. Collect feedback. Throw it out there, listen, gather the facts. Actively seek out different perspectives. When you listen and you have different people representing other voices, they are much more likely to engage with an open dialogue and an open mind. And that's how we all learn. Let's take a look and see if anyone has any questions or who's out there. Amazing work, sir. Keep soaring. Watching and listening from Kenya. Hey, listen, you guys really did really well. I think it was in the 800. Was it the 800? You guys killed it. I think you guys got first and second or first and third. I think an American was in there or something. I think it was second that we got. What's the best way to get everyone in the room to the same perspective so that everyone can start moving forward? You can't. You can't. And I think that's where you get really like really in a troubled area. You can't get everyone in the same perspective. Right? You can talk about the why, is the best way I could say, is this is why we're doing it. And maybe they can get behind that. Right? They can stake their claim in that, the why, or they can see somewhere that they want to be. That would be really beneficial. But you have to go into it knowing you're going to have 5 different perspectives out there than that. I mean, that's why I brought up, the whole vaccinated situation. I know someone personally that had the Moderna, and Moderna, if you remember, we talked about that stock when it was $56, and now it's $420. So if you listen to that last year when we were buying that and selling it, that was a good stock to have, and they're up to great things. Different perspective. Pfizer, Moderna, there's several of them out there. But listen to all the different perspectives, and maybe the one that you have, why do you have it? Is this something from your community, your upbringing, your mother, father? Is it just something that maybe you had bad service and your perspective is McDonald's is terrible? Look at these things and just understand going into it, there's different perspectives, and maybe ask yourself, what could the different perspectives be? How could it occur for someone? Like in the military, the only stupid question is the one that's asked when needed. You got it, my friend. Yeah, the KISS concept. Lead by example. That's a great way of being. There's 2 rules. I just was out with a great friend that I love. Had drinks and dinner for like 5 hours. And we were talking about the golden rule. And that's treating everybody like you want to be treated. And then we were talking about the platinum rule. And the platinum rule is treating others how you want to be treated. No, sorry. How they want to be treated. That's their perspective. So the golden rule is how you want to be treated. And same thing about perspectives. If we're going around treating everybody like we want to be treated, you're missing out on the true nectar of it. The platinum rule is treating others how they want to be treated. But the only way we can treat others the way they want to be treated is by listening. Stephen R. Covey said it best. You have to listen first. You do. First things first. So, let's move on. Very good, sir, from Kenya. We got 2 people from Kenya, or are you the same person? First and second at the Olympics. Yes, sir. Great job. You guys are in great shape. And I used to be a runner in high school, Lake Park High School. It was great. And I was a half miler, quarter miler, and a cross country guy. So really was enjoying that. And introducing our daughters into cross country. And my daughter's going to be doing cross country since she's going into 6th grade. So understanding where the other person is coming from is overlooked in the debates of today. Yeah. I think they're just pushing their own personal perspective. And, they ask a question like, what color is the sky? Well, the ground's been really, really good. And like, no, you missed the question. They should stop them and say, no, here's the question. I'll give it to you again. And then you can fill in what you want. That's called screening also. So let's finish this. It is so basic. Conrad, you are right on, my friend. And yet, such a profound aspect to building connections with others. Listen, I really think we're doing harm here across the world. We really are. We need to get back to the basics. There's something about human. We are all human beings. We have blood, we breathe, we have eyeballs. Where's the humanity? And we have to get off of these perspectives and understand that our perspective is different than others. And that's okay. Let's bring that all together. Thank you for your comments. I really do appreciate them. We have to hear and embrace other people's perspectives with an open mind, an outward mindset. When you have a group of people with different levels of experiences, each person can bring different questions, thoughts, and recommendations to get the best result to move the bottom line. When you learn about each other's background or history, you build a human relationship that creates empathy for each of us, for others, and hopefully maintains a productive and respectful work relationship. I just want to thank all of you guys. I mean, really, thank you for being here. You made it this far. If you really enjoy the content, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Furthermore, if you really like something grabbed you, share something. What did you get from this? And if you really enjoyed it, hit the share button and share it for your connections. Let's spread this around. We have people from around the world listening to this every single time I come on. I thank you for that. I bless you for that. And Conrad says, thanks for the speech. The connection with other humans empower us. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. With that, guys, have a great day. Buy some Ethereum and enjoy the ride.